This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids.
What up, everybody? This your boy Black Magus, back with another commentary about life, and we're going to talk about depression. Depression is something that's been on a lot of people's minds these days. Always on my mind, as I'm sure I have some form of clinical depression. I definitely do have anxiety and things like that. But of course, with the past couple of weeks having a couple of major celebrities committing suicide, and then just the whole conversation of depression amping up, I just felt like I needed to put my 2 cents in and kind of give myself some relief from some of my problems as well. Last year I went through something that was very, very traumatizing. For those who don't know, I ended up going to the hospital with congenital heart failure. I was in there for 10 days. I found out that I was carrying 110 pounds of bodily fluid because my heart was so weak that my body was scrambling to cocoon it in fluid so that it could maintain. And lost that. I've been maintaining it, keeping it off. I'm at a weird stage now where I'm like, I can't lose weight, but I can't really gain a lot of weight. And I have to watch because sometimes I will flash gain 5 pounds or something like that. That tends to have to do with the heart disease, because with congenital heart failure, you can, if you're not careful, have these moments where you'll gain 5 to 10 pounds just off of water weight. But for the most part, I've been keeping that in check. My heart's been doing pretty good, from what my cardiologist said, and I'm staying at a specific weight. Now I feel like I need to progress to the point where I need to work out so I can lose a little bit more weight, because I think if I lose another 20 pounds, I think I'll be good, and that'll put me in a good place. I mean, I've been doing well with my diet, minimizing all the damage I can do, making sure I stick to the 2,000 milligrams per day sodium limit, just trying to maintain and just take my diet and do different things, make sure I diversify it enough so I don't feel like I need to slip back into the bad habits that got me to where it was, because I'm a workaholic, and as much as I love to cook, I wasn't cooking and taking care of myself. I was like in that whole eating fast food. Pro tip, people, stay away from eating fast food all the time, because it's part of what got me where I am, because all that stuff is high in sodium. Fast foods, frozen foods, all that, high in sodium. Watch how you prepare stuff. Salt, leave that shit alone. You don't need salt. Funny, because I put up my own recipe for homemade French fries, which I let people know you don't have to salt fries. What you do is, just a tip for you guys who might want to know, after you cut up the potatoes, take some garlic powder, some onion powder, some pepper, whatever kind you want. Like I use cayenne pepper because I'm a spice person. But you take that and you season the cut up potatoes with that. Once you do that, take the potatoes, cover them up, sit it in the freezer for about 30 minutes, and then take it out and bake or fry them, however you want to do. Don't add any salt. I guarantee you won't need any salt, because once you taste them, you'll be like, yo, these taste good. No salt. There's ways that you can get around eating certain things, and of course it's not like I sit and eat French fries all day, because you shouldn't eat fried food all the time, but it's like I find a way to switch things up. I started eating more fish, baking, sauteing it, discovering new seasons and how to prepare foods. Fried food is something I really eat these days. And like I say, when I do it, it's the way I prepare it. Make sure to use like canola or peanut oil or healthier oils. less cholesterol, no cholesterol, I believe in canola oil, things like that, just to make sure that I maintain, you know what I mean, a more balanced diet, you know. So that's been working pretty good, but I still hold depression because that was a harrowing thing to go through, and you know, it brought so many changes to my life. And then there were always things that was going on that was kind of helping push me in that direction where I wasn't really taking care of myself. You know, I still have issues with a lot of those things that I've dealt with before, the hospital thing, and it's hard, especially for someone like me, because if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm not good at expressing myself. I'm very introverted in nature, so it's not like I share a lot of my feelings with people, and when I do, I don't feel like it's worth it because I have issues with you know, thinking people actually give a fuck. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's hard, and when you have those type of issues like I do, it's kind of hard to like feel as if there's a way out. And I think that's why you see a lot of people be put on suicide watch. Like for me, this is my way out. Doing these videos, doing these discussions, because I don't feel totally comfortable going to my friends. I still have the anxiety of like whether or not people actually care. And while I'm not trying to say that necessarily all of you guys care or should care who listen to these, it's just that it's just me talking, even if no one watches this video, helps, because it's getting it out in the air and letting me deal with it in a way. Probably not the most healthiest way to deal with it, but it kind of keeps me off edge. I'm not as on edge as I normally am when I do express myself this way. So you know, it's my coping mechanism. But a lot of people who are depressed don't really have any true coping mechanisms, or the mechanism that they have. Like, I've had points where I've been drinking too much, and I had to tell myself to chill, stop it, because you're gonna fuck yourself up. That's not a good coping mechanism. Things like that. People will abuse alcohol, drugs, food. Again, part of my thing was I was too tired, I was too wound up, too stressed to think about cooking. I would just fall into the get Wendy's or whatever thing, knowing that I wasn't feeling well leading up to the hospital. That's the thing, I knew I wasn't feeling well leading up to it, but I just didn't really care, because again, I'm so stressed out and so depressed that I really didn't care. And it took for me to get to that point where I almost killed my fucking self to actually care more. And now while I'm still coping with these things, I care more. But I don't want anybody to get to that point, or worse, you know, be like Anthony Bourdain, where you feel like the only way out is suicide or anything like that. So I encourage you guys, if you have someone that you can connect with, please, for the love of God, connect with them. If you don't have anyone personal you can connect with, there are different outlets. There's, you know, suicide hotlines. I know it seems strange to go to somebody, a stranger, to talk on your problems. But these people who are volunteering and willing to be that ear, some of them may have been people who've been in that point. It's just like with me. I found that I've become an ear for a lot of people, and I take pride in that, only because I know how it is, and I don't want to see anybody fall because they don't have anyone who they feel like they can talk to. You know, so hey, I'm just putting this out here in my video. If you really have something wrong, my DMs are open, I believe, on Twitter. Feel free. It's in the description. I just don't want to see anybody like feel the way I felt or feel. So, you know, apologies if I don't get immediately back to you, because I do have a lot of things to do, but I'll try. But again, there's these lines, there's these groups, you know, lots of groups on the internet to discuss this. Please I beg of you, if you're feeling that low, seek help, even in the arms of strangers, because there are people out there who actually care. Like, as much as I have this anxiety about people not caring, I'm not blind to the fact that there are outlets and there are ways to do things. I choose to do things my way, and I probably should change that. I have admitted it several times, but you have options. That's the thing. I implore you, even if you're not in this state, to talk about this, engage people about it. Let them know there's options, there's avenues and ways to find help. It's not just, them by themselves, and I think that's one of the things that, at least for me, when it comes to depression, that that weighs heavy on me, is that I so feel alone in dealing with certain things a lot of times, and I gotta address that. Thankfully, I'm not at the point where I want to end it all, or at least I think I am. I'm just being honest, because who knows, some things that I may do, like overwork and things like that, might be my way of not taking care of myself intentionally. I've thought about that and evaluated that a lot, but I just want people to be happy. I don't want to see people feel the pain that they do and feel like they are hopeless. As much as I feel like I'm hopeless at times, there's some spark in me that makes me think I'm not, and there's something out there for me. It's funny, because as hopeless as I can think of myself being, it's hope that keeps me going. And I'm thankful that I still have some level of hope when it comes to life. But I know there's a lot of you out there who got that feeling like hope is just not there for you. And that's why I beg everybody, if you're feeling this way, please try to find some way to deal with this and reconcile with this. If you think you know someone like that, please encourage them, urge them, do whatever you can to help them. Don't let them get to a point where, they want to do something drastic to themselves. And more importantly, try to be more aware. As human beings, we need to be a lot more aware of each other and a lot more thoughtful of each other and how we feel, especially someone that you say you care about and love. Pay attention, for the love of God. I think sometimes people just don't pay attention enough. And granted, we all have a lot going on in our lives, or we sometimes don't have the time to be as attentive as we want to or can be. But try your best to take a moment to check on each other. See how things are doing. And again, this is something that I'm bad at because I'm so wrapped into my own self-esteem issues and things like that. But I try, at least I try more than I used to, because I just don't want to see anyone I care about fall to this, because it hurts. It really, really hurts to see someone go that way. But I guess that's all I wanted to say on this. Thank you for listening, if you listen, especially to this point. But seriously, please do what you can for whoever you know or yourself who's going through things like this, because it's not cool at all. It definitely is not cool. So take it easy, take care of yourself, all right? Anyway, as always, feel free to hit me up. Let me know what you're thinking. I'll haunt you later. This your boy Black Megas, and I'm out. Deuces.